welcome back to another episode of Trailer Trash Talks Hurricane League Fantasy Talk. Let me indeed make sure all of this is working to my knowledge. Would appear so, but I guess we will.
Third attempt at this shit.
Yeah, we've made quite a few attempts. With that, happy late Thanksgiving. Going to try to do one yesterday, but after narrowly surviving yet another harrowing Black Friday, we both decided to push it off yet another day. So here we are now. Let's see. A lot's happened since the last time we've had an episode. Not the least of which, there was a little election that happened. Now, everybody's talking about this election. The one thing that I will say, my 2 cents, I'm fucking glad it's over. Because I'm tired of seeing the election ads. I'm tired of hearing... Dude, I mean, for the last fucking 15 years, we've heard... This is the last election you're ever going to have a chance to vote for if you don't vote my way. Like, I'm just...
Yeah.
I'm so glad it's done. I'm so glad it's done.
I was going to say, Bush Jr. on every time.
Well, I was going to say from Obama on, we heard it from the Republican side. And then that was the Democrats' call after Trump, when he was up for re-election, was, well, if you let him win, then he'll install a dictatorship and there will never be another free election. I mean, it's both sides do it. It's every time, and it's just shameless, you know, well, I don't know. But yeah, glad that's over. Glad that we clearly made the right choice, not to, you know, pick sides here, but...
endorse anything.
Yeah, but I mean, when you have a bumbling dumbass and, you know, an old egotistical person that seems to have good business acumen, I mean, it's... No, honestly, I wasn't a big Trump fan, but after he fucking got shot and did this shit here, like... yeah, I remember I told you soon after it happened, like, yeah, he won my support, like, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. That Russian deep state spec ops guy. Yep.
Yeah. No, and then also you have Blake shaming me, trying to get me into voting. If you have to know, fucking Blake, yeah, with changing my address, I found out that I did not update my voter registration.
I mean,
and
I realize that you're not supposed to think this way, but it's like we're not a swing state.
Yeah, well,
and
that,
it's not
there was
like
that too. But
we're ever gonna be like. We know where our electoral votes are going. I mean, does it truly matter?
Like 2 weeks out, 2.5 weeks out, I was just thinking, I was like, well, I've never voted here. I was like, I wonder if I'm still, you know, where I'm going, if I'm going up to the high school, and you can go to the Louisiana state voter, and yeah, I found out I was not registered to vote anymore.
You're probably
somehow.
Still registered out there at the fire department.
No, I checked every possibility. Found her still registered out there. But mine just completely fucking disappeared, you know. I don't know. Because that was my thought, was I'd still be over there and I could go over there. Yeah. But, and you have to do all that, I think it said 30 plus days before an election.
Yeah.
So I was just like, fuck it. I pretty much know that we're going, you know, 55, 60% already, so not gonna really fucking matter, you know. But yeah, that's why, Blake. I mean, thank you for trying to shame me and make me feel bad about myself, but yeah, I completely fucking tarted out on that shit. Along with the election and America making the right choice, you have made the wrong choice a couple of times here now, right? Because you've gotten yourself into a couple of pickles since the last time we've had a show. Both with Morgan or because of Morgan with no one, yeah, both with Morgan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one, you have an ongoing bet, and this might be the first time you've been on air. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
it is. What exactly is the bet you have with Morgan? Can you please elaborate that? Because I've gotten several different answers. Seemingly every time we talk about it on the group chat, it's something slightly different. What the fuck is your bet with Morgan regarding your end of year stand? The one of you getting shot. What exactly are the parameters on that bet?
You know, at this point, I halfway don't understand how we're supposed to measure which one of us is the bigger loser either, which is why my game plan is to just finish better than Morgan in all metrics so there can be no question that he sucks more than me and has to get those bonus rounds.
So you just said you plan on finishing with a better win loss and finishing with a better playoff record than Morgan is what you just said.
Yes.
Therefore, okay. But do you know what the original bet actually was? Is it end of year, like including playoff results, standings? Was it your win loss? What is this supposed to be?
I think we're both retarded because originally I just meant win-loss record. That was my whole thing was I'll have a better record than you at the end, games played, etc. But at this point, I'm not going to offer any ground for dispute. So again, by all metrics, I will finish ahead.
Okay. All right. Well, you might have dug yourself a deeper hole there. I mean, you're already ahead on the win loss. You should have just lobbied for that one.
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't care. No one's going to let it stand anyway.
So there's what's Dan?
No one's going to let. No one's going to vote to let me have it easy. So.
Well, I mean, you're the one that made this vote, and you two or made this bet, and you two fucking suck at doing this because this was the most vague fucking bet with the biggest. I just don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like I was having to try and help you two through it in the group chat as you were doing it, and I still don't understand what came out of it.
Alright, so no argument that we are not smart people. However, like, our spirits are in the right places, okay?
Oh,
At least
I
we're
agree.
getting action going on this, unlike some other people who just disappear, go fucking mute whenever any sort of contest or side bet is brought up.
I'm going to reiterate, Blake, if you would have not tried to talk shit to me when I told you should make a bet with Justin on y'all's matchup, you could be up a draft pick right now. Because I think he ended up wiping the floor with you in y'all's second matchup.
Yes, he did.
So, yeah, just throwing that out there. Just throwing that out there. Because he rebuffed me pretty hard when I mentioned that.
Just want to point out, Blake, he brought you into this, not me. I did not say your name. Don't at me.
Okay.
Just every time I mention Blake, apparently I am maliciously and hatefully choosing him out of the billions of people on Earth to pick on for no reason, even though there's 8 people in this league, not billions of people on the planet. So I don't understand these numbers he's throwing around.
Well, I mean, Blake's directly involved with most of this, especially when there's any controversy in this league. So the other one was the bet, which I still think was somewhat foolish to make when you made it, being down 100 or so points, I think, to Blake, and betting your third round pick that you would come up with a victory. What the fuck inspired that? Were you drunk? Did you have some PCP? I mean,
I was just firmly convinced that, I was down 100 points, but the metrics also projected me to win anyway. So I was like, fuck it. Let's go for it. Why not? It's the worst that can happen.
Within a span of 2 weeks, you wound up possibly being in the firing line for some bullets, even if you don't lose, and gave away your third round pick. I mean, that's a tough 2 weeks. Not even looking at your wins or losses. Pretty rough. Pretty rough. Well, another thing I want to bring up. Stanks Ranks hasn't been present in a couple of weeks. There's been a little bit of chaos amongst the board members. One of our members has taken up some new residence and been doing some different side gigs because of the election results. Turns out he was kind of the glue guy on the board. So we're working some things out. We're hoping to get one out before the season ends, whether it's with Big E or not. Yeah, we do plan on being back with Stanks Ranks. Finding a new member of the board has been harder than what we anticipated, and we're kind of in flux waiting to see what's going on.
And the Asian contingent has been a little sidetracked as well. We know he's got his thing going on.
Yeah. I guess the last big thing that's happened. I do have a question actually regarding the next bit. So, last big thing that's happened has been that the playoff picture is pretty much taken shape. If you or Blake lose, so this is to you and to Blake, are you going to allow someone to use your rifle to shoot you? Since you both have airsoft rifles, because we seen them when y'all shot Mitchell.
I mean, I will do my best to remember to bring my whatever along to the draft. However, everybody's talking about how they're going to get their own whatever, so that shouldn't matter if these people actually follow through with something.
You're right. I'm just saying. I was just wondering. But yeah, with
I know Blake's not bringing his, so no, I'm not bringing mine. Like, why do I consistently have to prove my nuts are bigger? No.
It would just be fair,
Fair.
Especially to some of the underprivileged or forgetful members of this league,
Sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, well.
Are we live streaming? Is that him already whining about this?
No, we haven't reached, internet still hadn't reached this neck of the woods, but, So I guess before we get into, because, so playoff pictures taking shape. Kmart Rayman and Stanks Ranks both kind of predicted this exact outcome, going into a month and a half, 2 months ago, as far as who the top 4 and bottom 4 would be. There's one position in flux, but not really. That's the Mitchell-Blake seeding.
Come on, Mitchell. Like I said, man, you got this, buddy.
Despite you and Blake having arguments and false delusions about your, playoff hopes, it's pretty much come clear now. But I guess that's a good way to segue into the matchups, and we'll look at Blake and Mitchell first. This is really the most important matchup, not only of this week, possibly of this year. Especially for Blake, but Blake and Mitchell, but particularly Blake. Not singling you out, Blake, but this is important mostly for you because your ass is on the line here. So you had a winning streak going on. Had I not beat your ass last week by 30 points, and that's 30 points while having one of my players put up a 0, I still scored 150, so I had a pretty good week. Had I not snapped your win streak, you would be arguably in good position to be in the playoffs right now. As we speak, despite what happens this week, you would still have a shot. However, since I beat you last week, you now have to win this week, because next week you're going to have a, fairly tough game. I don't know who you're playing next week. Jordan, maybe. You're going to be playing Jordan, I think, next week. Jordan's coming off of a loss to Brian, and he doesn't want to go into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak. So you're going to have a tough game there. Mitchell, however,
You know,
conveniently has a bye the last week of the regular season. He plays Morgan. So he's going to win the last week, meaning whatever happens this week, he's finishing with a bare minimum of 7 wins. So, Blake, if you lose today, or you lose this matchup, and you somehow win next week, you still finish with 7 wins, and Mitchell has such a monstrous point advantage that you go to the shit side of the playoffs. However, if you win this week and win next week, you get in. All you have to do is beat Mitchell and then beat Jordan. But really, just beat Mitchell, because Jordan, well, Blake and Jordan are kind of the same team, actually. When you look at the points for and points against, because they have 2 of the bottom 3 points for, and I think the 2 fewest points against.
Look, if we want to look at it by those metrics, then I have to give the edge to Jordan just by his bizarre luck is a skill thing. Like, it might be. It's not enough to overcome actual skill from some of our higher tier teams. I'm big enough to admit that, or point that out, rather. But, I mean, gonna get yelled at. Blake, you're not one of those teams, so I think Jordan has the edge with his weird luck thing.
He may. But Blake also could win this game against Mitchell. I mean, he could win this game. Because you look at it, Mitchell put up 180 points against me in Week 10, was feeling really good about himself. He's lost both games since then. So he also is in the position. He's got the number 1 overall wide receiver, the number 4 overall wide receiver, the number 3 overall QB, the number 2 overall running back, and then another top 15 running back and another top, I think, 15 receiver. Dude should be, very safely planted in the playoffs. So I guess what that says is possibilities for mismanagement are here, and Mitchell could very well give away this game, Blake. So what I'm saying is I'm on your side. That's what this has all been about. I'm rooting for you. I will trade you Nico Collins, or any member of my team for that matter. Anybody you want. Just offer me a sweet, sweet draft pick. You can take half of my team. Just give me a draft pick. Guess what? I'm in the playoffs. I don't care at this point. I'm not getting shot. I mean, Justin, do you want Nico Collins? You want a George Kittle? Dusty, your team really looks weak. I know you're not going to hit on the draft picks anyway. Give those to me. I'll give you somebody right now that keeps you from getting shot. Nobody wants to see you get shot after what Blake did to you. Like, we're all rooting for you, Dusty.
Hey, I'm playing against him, and I'm still kind of in this moral dilemma where I don't want to do it.
So what I'm saying is I'm open for business, However, if it gets to the final round of the playoffs, I'm still open for business. I mean, even if I'm in the championship round, I'm open for business, but it's going to cost you higher, especially if you're in the shit bowl. I'm going to tax you higher to make a deal at that point. I mean, I'm still willing to do it, I'll give you fucking premium people, but it's going to be a little more expensive. Just chew on that, Now, obviously, what we're going to do is I'm going to trade you my player. You trade me the shittiest player on your team. That way it goes to a vote for the league. But, as multiple people have said, they're not going to just randomly veto trades. So I don't see that should be an issue. Anyway, getting back. Possibility for mismanagement's there from Mitchell. I think last week he scored 74 points, I think. I mean, that's... Now, granted, that was without Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. But still, to have all those people and be fighting for... Man.
To break 100. Yeah, that's never a good look.
What was the other... Oh, yeah, the only other matchup with any significance was really Brian and Jordan. Because Jordan is in first in the division right now. After Brian beats him, Jordan and I will have a tied record, and my points are so much better than Jordan's points. They're great points, and they're beautiful points, and they're much better than Jordan's, and that will boost me back to first in the division. And, again, Jordan's gonna be a tough opponent for Blake next week because he doesn't want to make one of his random, or not random, one of his rare trips to the playoffs. He doesn't want to enter that in a losing fashion. So Jordan, I'm rooting for you, I guess. Good luck. Offers open to Jordan too. I talked to him about that in private, and he has too much integrity. Too much integrity to take me up on my offer. And I said that's why you don't have a fucking championship. And I think Brian told him something similar on the group chat today or yesterday.
Yeah.
um,
Too much integrity for this league.
So yeah, by the way, he apparently is quite butthurt that a couple of trades went through. I was unaware of this.
I mean, I'm not happy about it either. That being said, like, Jordan, you're getting all righteous and indignant, and I didn't see you in there voting some of these, so
now look,
calm your tits.
I don't like that we have this thing where trades are going to go through willy-nilly. I like the idea of having to work and get your votes. I like that. There needs to be some effort put behind it. Like, we don't want to be helping people we're playing against actively get better. That hurts us. Unless you're making the trade with me. And then, that's what, make the trade with me. And then we'll find somebody. We can either make a 3-way trade, or we can work a partnership out. That's how allegiances are formed, and it's not collusion if you do it in the open, right?
I think so. Like, the very fact that it's in the open means that it cannot be collusion.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So, yeah. Like I said. You can at me, and we'll talk. Up for sale, which you need. Stank might have it. I think that's really all I got. The other two matchups, it's you and Dusty, and me and Morgan, and I think me and you are both projected to win quite large at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah. Not really much to say on those. They don't really matter for much.
Yeah.
So the one that matters is Blake.
And
No pressure, but this is your season right here, bud.
I honestly don't know who I'd root for at the end out of all of this. Don't let Brian win. I messed up. I'm not there to stop him.
Oh, you are, yeah. Obviously, you're officially out of it, but
yeah. So somebody take up the good fight. Block that bald prick. He doesn't deserve it. I don't care how good his team is. He still doesn't deserve it.
My hope is that. So I kind of want to stay in the second or third position because that means I'll probably face Jordan in the first round of the playoffs, where Mitchell and Brian will face each other, because I'm 0-2 against Mitchell this year. I put up like 108 and 120 points against Mitchell. My teams have just way underperformed, and the last time I played him, he put up 180. So
you're gonna use Brian to take Mitchell out in the first round, and then smart.
Yeah, I'm 1-1 against Brian this year, and going back to the last couple of years, since Brian kind of reached his peak and fell off some. I mean, I've got a pretty good win-loss against old B-Rye there. So, yeah, I was looking at the pictures they were sending about with your, like, toughest opponent and all this shit, and I didn't know that shit was on the app. But I noticed looking through it, me and Brian both had the easiest opponent, which was his friend Jorge. We're both 4-0 against him. And then my toughest opponent, it said, was Morgan's team. I'm trying to think of who all owned that before Morgan for it to have been. But yeah, that was apparently my worst win-loss percentage. Was
probably that out-of-towner dude who smoked all.
No, I don't think. But I mean, that would have been years and years. Like, there was so many people that have. I wouldn't think that was Nick's team, because Nick didn't.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I'm a little hurt, actually. I would have thought that.
Well, no, Morgan took Johnny's team. But then who did Johnny take it from? I thought. See, I thought we brought. Was Dusty in the league at the same time Nick was in the league? For some reason, I thought Dusty came in when Nick left, but maybe they were in together.
Dusty, reach out, comment.
I'm
let
just
us
trying
know
to
if you
figure out
remember,
who was owning that team where my win-loss was so bad against them in particular. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to remember who. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, that's all I got. You have anything to add in there since it's been so long?
I stand by my bad choices. They are what they are. Mitch, rooting for you. Jordan, rooting for you for all the good it's gonna do. I am a little bit saddened. Why are you gonna let him be right, man? I thought you were better than that. Integrity's doing you a lot of good right now.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying, Jordan. Ditch that integrity. Come get you some Nico Collins. Go get that championship, brother. You deserve it. I mean, there's very few of you at this point after a decade plus without a championship. You and Mitchell really are the only two that have been here for quite so long and
failed to climb that hill.
I mean, Dusty and Morgan obviously don't have one, but this is what Morgan's second year, and Dusty
like fourth, third.
I have a sneaky feeling Dusty's been in this league longer than what we're. I don't know.
Dusty, again, man, reach out. Like, how long have we been doing this? Like, how long you been here? Let us know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, we can't remember. You hopefully remember. No guarantee, but
yeah, somebody right. But yeah, all right.
Yeah.
I think that's all I have. Again, happy late Thanksgiving to everybody. I hope you all survived your Black Friday misadventures as well. Yeah, I think next week, like I said, really nothing's gonna matter, honestly, unless Blake wins this matchup, and then things will be interesting. But otherwise, I think it's just gonna have a minimal impact on playoff seeding, and then the real fun begins. And again, I'm really rooting for Dusty not to lose because I want to do this during the Super Bowl festivities, and I don't want Dusty to lose. So, yeah, but with that being all, I wish you all good luck. And, yeah.
Yeah. I wish good luck to, like,
I'm saying I can't even wish hate against Morgan because if he wins and gets a win going into the playoffs, I'm like, you know what, good job, guy. Like,
good for him.
I'm sorry. I was looking at your roster, Morgan. It's pretty terrible. Like, you're clearly not utilizing your IR spots. Like, I'm kind of shocked that I'm shocked you're not prime, like, squarely in position to be the prime loser right now, because I think the last time I looked, it still had Dusty finishing 8th, but I don't know. Really, but I mean, credit to you for drafting shitty and not, like, tanking the entire season. I mean, you're only one game behind Justin here, who's still got the confidence to spout endless amounts of bullshit. And
Hey, I'm the goddamn champion for another, 4 weeks. I will continue to spout my shit until the end.
You're right, allegedly. Again, I don't quite remember this, but I'm not going to argue it because,
Oh, it's there. It's there. Like, go back in the group chat. Brian even fucking noted it on this abomination he is putting together. If he can admit it happened, so can you.
All right, again, I really, really like that stock thing, man. That looks good.
Yeah.
I kind of wish not to be that guy. I kind of wish he would have stained it before. You know, he wrote everybody's name or the losers' names on it and all. It would look cooler stained, or I don't know.
I mean, when you'd want to stain it after you did the writing and all that?
Isn't that gonna cover up the marker?
No. Do you not know how stain works? It's like clear. It's gonna put a little shade over the top of it, but no, that wouldn't cover the marker.
I don't know.
I mean, not as long as he doesn't use like a crazy dark stain.
Well, that's what the ones I've used before are pretty like dark.
Yeah, no, we do like you could do like a lacquer or something,
do
a
one
clear
almost
coat.
like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell you what. Yeah. Yeah, it looks almost too nice too. I don't know. I guess once we throw a few tomatoes against it, it'll
It'd
look
be
more,
all right.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, good luck to some or all of you. I don't know. Whatever
Yeah.
floats your boat. Yeah, we'll be back with another video hopefully this upcoming week. Definitely have a Stanks ranks one way or the other. Although again, at this point, you know, everybody knows where they stand. There's a clear bottom four here. You all fucking suck. No offense.
None
And,
taken. I deserve that.
There's four of us that are pretty fucking good this year. You know. Yeah. Well, three of us are pretty fucking good, and then whoever squeaks in between Blake and Mitchell. So yeah. Y'all enjoy your day. Hopefully this gets out before the games are. You know, I'm gonna try and get this out tonight, but we'll see. So yeah.
Probably pop up
There's
before
no
the
telling.
Monday game.
It'll probably be up before the Monday night game is over for sure. Right? Anyway. All right. Well, good luck. Go fuck yourselves.
Lick my balls.